Frost crystal. Now, why is there terrain in my house here? Let's sweep up the dirt. Sweep it up. A little housekeeping. Hello everyone, Thoranx is here. Welcome back to No Man's Sky. We have so many things that require our love and attention. I think it's time we put the exploration on hold. As much as that's not usually my go-to, the Relentless needs our love. Our base needs our love. Not even our expeditions are welcomed. But what I really, really want to do is I was actually rather remiss about not being able to get the ship that we found on the weekend mission. Just tisk, you know, because we picked up this very beautiful exploration craft, and in my humble opinion, I dare say I want to keep this. It's nice. I like the colors. I like the design. There was another model I was considering, but the more I looked at this model, I really like it. You know? The ray domes in the front, they're okay. It's okay. It's all not that bad, actually. So we're gonna have to change the name, of course. But look at that. Yeah, see? That's slick. I can deal with that. And it has quite a few spots, but not a ton. And then, of course, it's a C class. So I think what we should do at this point is we should swing by the space station and see what sort of love we can give this ship. Now, we do have the Relentless as far as long-distance warping, so the exploration craft is, you know, it's not going to have the same legs that our capital ship has, but it should still... This ship represents an important milestone. It really does. The Thranxian conflagration. I couldn't help but notice that. I'm not sure if you saw that, but that one's gonna take some time for me to digest it. I suppose that's just what happens. Let's see, what do we got here? Multi-tool upgrades. I actually don't think we need any more of these. Ooh, the Messenger of the Night. C-class. Oh, okay. But what we can do... The sleep... No, we're not even going to mention that name. So, let's see, if we're going to upgrade it... Storage is 12 million units. Upgrade the class for 10,000 nanites. I think that's something we want to do. Yes. Class Bravo, that's fun. Let's see, if we upgrade it again... Ooh, 25,000 nanites, I see. Well, we can start to purchase the storage. Right? 13, 14, 15. Let's go to the technology. Is that it for the technology? Oh, that is it. What? Well, I guess that's just the way it goes. You know what we do have? We have... Oh, look at all these things that need to be sorted here. I think we'll end up doing this. Yeah, we'll do all that off camera. Let's grab the storage modules for now. Storage augmentation. 27 of them. I'm pretty good with that. I don't even know if we're going to need that many. Let's continue to upgrade our storage. Oh yeah, we have apply augmentation, right? 3, 4, 5. There. Fully maxed out with space. Look at that. Yashiha Terror. Yohashi's Dream. S-Class 39 plus 6. Hold on. Oh, we can't buy it. Oh, I would love to buy it and break it. That's fun. Big S-Class? We'll just buy it and turn it in? No. So this is a 35 plus 7 with its storage maxed out? So I guess the haulers can get more storage than the non-haulers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 5. Yeah, I guess that's as much as it goes right there. We absolutely need to get its class up, so we need a lot more nanites. We hardly touched our units. But I suppose this is very much the reason why we need to start cooking. That way we can get all the nanites that we need. I think if we go back to the capital ship, I don't necessarily... I was going to start looking at bases today, other people's bases, you know, a bit to showcase them, but also for inspiration. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I was reading around on the Discord, and I think some people are still... some bases are complete, some bases are not at the time of this recording, so I think we'll just wait a little bit longer. I mean, we have our own base to work on, for sure, and definitely the Relentless needs some love. But we might just have to look at our nice little module storage ship over here and say, yeah, look at all this. Pulse engines. Shields, yeah. I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to want all 6 pulse engine upgrades available on this ship. And then also the shield. Maybe we don't. Because more than anything, we're going to want 3 hyperspace upgrades on this to get the most out of its hyperdrive range. It's an exploration ship. Well, we can for sure, we can fit 3 here. That's 5, 2, and then we put the rest there. For some reason I thought we'd be able to squeeze more storage out of this ship. Maybe it requires a higher class. Maybe that's just the limit that we get, you know? Okay, well now at least we can travel far and live a little bit while we're doing it. I'm sure if we have... that's Exocraft Boost Module. We can store that. Yeah, look, we've got hyperdrive. We can just use them from there. Yeah, sure. See, look at that. But that illustrates that we're actually a little bit low on what I was thinking. Exocraft engine, boost, engine. Alright, so we need more hyperspace modules. Because what? That's only 3, and really if we want to squeeze the most out of this ship, we're going to need a little bit more than that, right? Of course we are. And I think we can just go ahead and grab a warp hypercore. You know, it's probably not that important right this second. But we can open up our storage here. There's no reason to have this sort of laser cannon. Yeah, 3 lasers and 3 cannons, and then 3 shields. Do we need the shields? That's the question, right? Another pulse engine module. I suppose it's always better to start with fewer than we think we're going to want. You know what? Let's leave the shield modules as is. I would almost rather get 6 pulse engines and 6 warp. I mean, that's an exploration craft. We don't really. I'm sure 3 shield modules is going to be plenty, right? Look at this. I would rather, yeah. So let's make a command decision. I'd rather get the pulse engines. Yeah, look at that maneuverability. And then we'll get some hyperdrive modules installed, right? And then we'll send these to the freighter. Sure. That's fairly simple. Doesn't give us the other upgrades, though. We have other upgrades. Things like pulse drive fuel efficiency, but this one is actually pulse drive power. I'd like to do that. And I'm sure we'll get the carbon crystal in no time. And then here we can do the fuel efficiency. We can always go for, what, ablative? It's only 7%. I mean, we'll likely do that at some point. Let's see, we can start the economy scanner. That's an easy one to put down, and then we can throw the launch. What is it? Efficient launch thrusters we can throw right down there. Dihydrogen jelly. Well, I know we can make one of those. We're just kind of drifting through space. That's okay. It's alright. There it is. Get that adjacency bonus over there. Warp cell, tritium. I'm sure we can make a warp cell really fast. It's not going to hurt anything. Right, so then all we need is a tritium hypercluster, which we can technically get here mining asteroids, and then a carbon crystal. Should be... Oof, look out. Not bad, not bad. It's a neat little ship. I like the profile. I like the way it looks. I mean, at this point, we're committing to it, which I think is the right call. Let's see. We did get some food here. What, we got mystery meat stew. That's pretty neat. I think we can go ahead and... I mean, we can go ahead and we can go to the Nexus and we can sell a little bit of this and just see what sort of nanite range we get for it. Admittedly, it likely won't be anything really top tier, but it's going to take a little bit of time to turn it all in. So a big thanks to Ed. I appreciate the mystery meat stew. And I think we're just going to turn it into nanites, because that's really just what we need. Do not simply stand there. Do I look as if I have time to waste? Show me what you have. How about the mystery meat stew? Well, well, you've outdone yourself. It's beyond compare. So that's 120 nanites for one. So while this does take time to give them, as you can see, this is a beyond easy way to get nanites. Right, so they're going to keep kind of throttling us back in that it takes time. You can only turn them in one at a time. But I'm actually going to do that, and then, yeah. Mwah, it's delicious. And then I'll bring you back when we're done. Alright, I think that's a pretty good spot to stop. About 15k. I did not cash them all in. I stopped after a point. It didn't seem like it was really going the direction I wanted it to go, and I think that's, well, mostly because... Stand by. I think that's mostly because it's just mystery meat stew. I mean, it's good, but you know, it's not the best it can be. There are better things out there to make. And so we're going to look at those. Let's see if we consume it. Yeah, sprint power surge. Look at that. That's pretty handy for when you want to run without burning down any of your sprint. But it's so short-lived. Look at that. It's already over already. I think we should take everything we've learned thus far and travel back to our base. Oh yeah, right after we get some tritium hyperclusters. We'll likely need some photon cannon upgrades if we're going to be able to hold our own in the fight with a photon cannon. But perhaps we need just better weapons in general. No, we're going to put it to the test, are we?
Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
Yeah? Why don't you fight my fleet? Go ahead. Warp on in and fight my fleet. See if I care. I love it. See how you deal with that. Alright, I can't leave it like this. I was going to try and do this another time, but I'm going to clean up the inventory on our capital ship and receive our expeditions before we go down to the planet. That's just a thing that we need to do. Okay, so just a brief reflection on everything we got from all of our expeditions. I did already sell the rep items I kind of had to make room, but as you can see, we've got a good bit of chromatic metal, which is pretty good. We were running out of that, and then a little bit of indium, which I don't think we really need any of it. Yeah, it's just going to end up being sold right along with the activated indium. We did get some money here with the cryo pump and the fusion accelerant. We got 2 salvaged frigate modules. That's sort of fun. We don't really need them, but I imagine, you know, you never know what an update will bring, and then you will need them again. Gravitino balls, yeah, relattice dark crystal. A lot of this we're just going to sell. The magnetized ferrite, yeah, we have the room for that, sure. And everything else, I think everything else we're just going to part ways with and sell, with the exception of the geodesite. No, we are storing all of our geodesite and iridesite in the shiny rocks container. And then we're just going to process all this aronium and other items. Do we have the space here for this? Well, look at that. We're 1 over 2 stacks of fusion accelerant. Good night. That is a lot. Cryo pump. We could start working on 2 stacks of this. In fact, I feel like really that's 100% what we should do. So let's look to see thermic condensate and yeah, what does a cryo pump actually take? Hot ice and thermic condensate. Well, we could easily pull these 2 down there and start processing them, right? The problem is making more. Yeah, well, yeah, see, there we go. Inventory full. Well, let's look at some of the treasures that we got. I don't want to brush over everything. We did get some treasures. We got a box of astonishing herbs. 1928 years old. Oof. There's a layer of fine, medicinal-looking mold growing on the top of this sample. Nothing could possibly go wrong from testing it. Oh, yikes. I feel like that's the backstory to a derelict freighter somewhere in the making. 1 box of astonishing herbs biological sample asterisk missing. Hewn artist's telescope, 773 years old, covered in burn marks. This must have seen a very strange life. But buried beneath the earth, it has drifted so far from its original story, we may never know its true purpose. And then we got some mutated churn rose nuts. Delicate scent and soft, fine hairs cannot disguise the fact that this is a widespread weed. It's probably not what the original planet intended to grow. Nice. Packet of pungent fingers. There's a curious sour aroma emanating from this sample. It's almost as if it's been slowly fermenting. Oh my, ill-gotten bones. Dusty and mud-stained. This treasure is nonetheless an important historical artifact. It belongs in a museum. Fresh deep fruit. Fresh deep fruit. A powerful medicinal herb. This plant could hold the key to developing the cure for the common cold. It should be deposited at a responsible cloning unit immediately. If you mean sold on a random galactic trade terminal station, well, it's in the Thranxian capital. It's not like it's going to be difficult to find. Only 600,000 for the cure for the common cold. That's I feel like that's not really indicative of the common climate we find ourselves in for prices. But, you know, I'm not going to hold out for the highest seller. Let's just get that thing to market, shall we? Okay. Now that we've cleared out some of our inventory space, I think we can continue making these cryo pumps. And we still have the 1 fusion accelerant. Now the big thing that I think holds us back from these... Right, so living glass, well, we could just make some of that. Lubricant. And then living glass. And then 2 of those. Yeah, that might not have been the best maneuver. What do we need for... A fusion igniter is going to run us... Oh no, it's portable reactor is the next stage. See, they don't set us up for that one. We have to set ourselves up for that level of success. That's really what it comes down to. And I like setting myself up for success. I do like that a lot. Liquid explosive. Of which we're not really set up for. Quantum processors are not really showing up. Let's just take the thermic condensate, right? And then And then we take the hot ice, the rest of the hot ice. Because that's just going to enable us to make all these cryo pumps here. And then we just need to make a few more cryogenic chambers. Well, I know we can make a lot of glass, so we might as well just do that. That's only 600 frost crystal? That seems incredibly easy. Is that where we want to be? That might be it. Because then we can load the cryogenic chamber in there. It's almost caught up to the portable reactor. Then we have 2 stacks of cryo pumps. See how this is. It's all part of a delicate balance of a system, and it might seem a little whatever at first glance, but if you look, it's actually slowly being balanced. So we have 2 stacks of fusion accelerant, 2 stacks of cryo pump. We've got a cryogenic chamber and portable reactor stack sort of building. And then stasis device, fusion igniter, and then we have these quantum processors. We could just push these down the way. Let's do that, actually. I think that's the right call. Because then, look, then we can come over here and we can say that we'll just process all of this into... Oh, geodesite, you don't say. Well, I think the freighter can hold on to our metal plating for now. That's not really important. So we have the geodesite, and the other one is going to be... Okay, so this little detour is taking a little bit longer than I first thought, but... in the end, it's going to be worth it. Because now look what we can do. So now we can come over here and make... There we go, fusion igniter. So only 5 of them, because we need more geodesite. That's fine. And then the... stasis device is actually going to... I think we'll just make all of those at once. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can just store all of this goodness. Alright, the iridesite can go back, right? And then the geodesite... boom, just like that. And that's pretty much it. So now we're starting to get the top tier items. Right. Let's take a look at... Ooh, that's so good. 156 million, so stacked up to 20. Oh gosh. Almost a full stack of fusion igniters in the high capacity storage. It's, you know, and it feels really good. It feels really, really good, but at the same time, I don't know what we would spend the money on. It's just nice to have, right? We're just stockpiling for reasons unknown. But it condenses our storage. It's a way to hold all of this money in a very small amount of space. We have the hot ice. We can move the nitrogen salt here, and then none of this really matters. The quantum processors, we can go ahead and load those up over here. And I mean, that's kind of it right there. And look at this room. So we've opened up 3 full spots now over here. 3 full spots just by condensing these. I mean, that's a 500 million units right there. That's not necessarily a small amount to scoff at. And we have 1 fusion accelerant left. Well, it is what it is. We'll leave it there. So then the metal plating, we'll take this stuff back in our inventory. Yeah, we'll do that. And then the antimatter as well. The rest of this, I feel like, is on a one-way trip out of here. I can't help but feel like I'm going to make more money if I break it down. Then the question is it worth it? I really don't think it is. Let's send our ships out on an expedition and clean everything up and get back down to the surface like we intended before we dedicate any more time to this. How about that? Alright, we're back, and before we get going, we're just going to go ahead and put down 3 carbon crystals in our inventory because we can totally construct those, and there's no reason to not have them installed so that we can get even more boost out of our pulse engine. Power, efficiency, and then a little bit more tritium hypercluster, and we'll get that fuel efficiency. Sounds good. We've got our inventory straightened out, our money cashed in. Let's go. Oh, wait, no, we did also grab a hypercore so that we could go ahead and just recharge our hyperdrive. Might as well. Alright, now, I think what we'll do before we progress much further, I think we'll go back to the space station. Oh, so much trade activity on this system. We'll go back to the space station and actually just take a look at what... Oh, look how fast this thing is. Ooh, so fast. I love it. We're going to take a look at what sort of starship modules are available for sale. Because we need to start accruing hyperspace modules. And if they have those here, I would like to start with them sooner rather than later. Phase beam, cyclotron, pulse engine, photon cannon. Photon cannon, probably a good call. I mean, I think we'll buy one. We'll buy one because I know that we sort of have some of these in a container, but it's not that many, because what we've got... That's a photon cannon, that's a photon cannon. We've got 4 shields and a pulse engine. We could go infra knife. I'm not incredibly fond of the infra knife, and then even then we only have 3 of them, so we might need to stockpile a few more of those boltcaster exocraft. Yeah, might be time to start buying more modules again. However, that all comes back to nanites. Always back to the nanites. Let's get our last 2 tritium hyperclusters that we need for our pulse engine fuel upgrade. And then I think it's time we go work on our base and gather up some of those things we need for nanites. Perhaps it's time we gave a little bit of time to our base here, a little bit of love. I know my original design is not going to work, and I thought I would be able to sort of recreate it on a smaller scale, but that's just not really how that works. But I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas of what I would like to do next at this point. That photon cannon module would help with the mining a little bit. There we go, look at that. Perhaps we should just make a command decision and throw the photon cannon modules on here. You know what? Let's do that. I can't think of a reason why we would sit on these. Especially since, I mean, this is it, you know, we're setting ourselves up for success here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, well now at least, yeah, it's going to be a little easier mining asteroids because we have, it's going to cool down faster and everything else. Still some tritium hyperclusters, gold nuggets. Okay, that being said, there it is. Look at all those bases on the cerulean terraces. It's quite a few. And ours is just nestled right down in there. Right on top of two large plateaus. Look at that speed coming through the atmosphere. Oh, I do love my pulse engine upgrades. When you absolutely just have to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, that's what it's all about. And the more we upgrade the class, the better we're going to do. Okay, well, we have an absolutely ridiculous amount of milk here. And I dare say we're also going to be able to put down this other nutrient processor. Okay, so let's start processing some of this milk into cream. And then we're also going to start processing frost crystal into glass grains. That's the thing we need. And then, actually, we should make another one. Hermetic seal. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Because in this one, we need to start processing that cactus flesh into nectar. Alright, and then we can always kind of hop in here and, let's see, we'll grab cactus flesh and frost crystal. Now, why is there terrain in my house here? Let's sweep up the dirt, sweep it up, a little housekeeping, please and thank you. Very good. Aside from the batteries all around, everything looks very good. Perfect. Now, back to the base. Oh, well, hold on. Before we do all that, let's extract our rust. And two separate stacks here. Right. Ferrite dust, please. Oh, you know what we should do? We should actually go and grab our rust from our base. Think we'll lose our resources doing that? I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Cream to process into churned butter. Let's store the grains in there and make some more, please. Same with the nectar. We're gonna need the nectar in here. Yep. And then I think what we'll do for now is we'll just process more of the milk into cream and store the cream we have. right? Put the frost crystal here, maybe swap them, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's good for now. Let's go get some rust. Just a hop, skip, and a jump down to... Rust without air, that's right. I like how we just float a little bit. Alright, there it is. Let's grab all of that 2,000 rust. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I pushed the overflow here. It's funny, it didn't... It rounded the one off and just dropped it on this page, but on this page it carried the one over. That's fun. That's interesting. And then oxygen. I think there's always room for oxygen. I can't imagine just leaving it. Not when we're here. See, everything looks to be powered. How often does this fill up just for my 5,000 an hour? So 4 hours. About 4 hours. This is 3.5. It's full. Okay. Alright, let's go back to capital construction site. Alright, I think if we lost our resources, then we just lost them, and that's just the way it goes, but I would imagine they're still here. Look at that. Do we need butter? I honestly don't know if we need butter or not. I'd have to take a look, and you know what? I'm not going to do that right away. I do know that we can afford to... See, the grains turn into flour, which we're going to need. And I know the nectar becomes sugar, which we're also going to need. So we might as well just start with that. Oh, look at everything here. Alright, and then yeah, we need to start splitting up all of our rust, and yeah, look, and some of these. So it appears like you only get crushed and lose your stuff if it's on a capital ship. How specific of a bug? I don't think we're going to use the ferrite dust this fast anymore, so I think we can just go ahead and let these run a full stack over and over again. Now, I was alerted in the... I was alerted in the comments about a way that I could attach these landing pads to our little highway here without a door. Right, see that? I think... Not the wall, but an actual floor panel would fix this, would it not? Yeah, see, look at this. What? Why are you doing this? Don't you do this to me. Oh, right, because we need to have loaded in here in order to get the range. Isn't that nice? Well, I think what we can afford to do now is we can indeed delete these doors. And then we can afford to just walk way across this whole thing. Now, this does leave a bit of a gap here. That gap is okay. This gap, probably not. We could also consider potentially going with something more of illuminated floor here. Around the landing pads. So if we do them like this, can you... So for science, we decided to drop down through there, and we learned firsthand that's not okay. That doesn't work. But you can't drop through here, so you're safe here. I think that's better than having the door. Now, do we want to go all the way across? Would it even be of value? I'm not certain. I do know that we're going to have to reload our game at this location if we want that extended base building range, and I assure you we want that extended base building range. So looking at the time, I think that's where we'll call this one. Now that we've got all of our resources going, and we finally made a definitive decision about our new exploration craft. Until next time. Take care.